Morning, everybody. We're going to be alternating between Blue Devil's 2000 Shopping Spree and MORRISpree. But before we do that, we got to get motivated, as usual, with Shia LaBeouf. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Shia LaBeouf. Ooh, look at that flex. We're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to warm up. We're going to stretch and massage, and then we're going to play through both the sprees, and we're just going to keep going back and forth. And I'm going to jump up by 5 beats a minute while we do that, so that way we can slowly start to speed up both shopping sprees. And alternating is going to make it so my brain needs to be on point this morning. No relaxing. Got to be completely ready to go. Speaking of, I forgot to do one thing. Let me paste that right there. Just right there. And right there. And cool. All right, so what do I want to warm up with? Could do a chug variation. That might be fun. We've got a lot of options here. Literally over 1,000 free play-alongs. Let's play through... Let's do float drag variations with flam fives. That one. Okay, so this one... No, we're not going to warm up at 174. Thanks, though. All of these, you can go to the timestamps and the BPM. Thank you for the like on YouTube. But you just click on the BPM, and then boom, it'll count you off. If it ends with a 0 or a 5, it gives you a moment before it taps off. So you can get yourself ready. It's a good spree. We'll be playing it in a bit. First, we're warming up. Thank you for the sub. Okay. We gotta go faster. That was 130. Okay, let's do 140. So we're gonna get the blood flowing. We're gonna stretch and massage. That takes just like a few minutes. And then by alternating, it's gonna like force me to kind of think about each of them. Try and memorize them a little more. Ew. This is why we're warming up. Alright, maybe 2 more times. It's important to get the blood flowing first before you stretch your massage. It helps. Alright, one more rep. Yes, that's a float 5. Almost forgot what I was playing there. Hey. It's like like pressed Alt instead of space. Yeah, so the Flam 5 into this one is called a Float 5. So this exercise is called float drags, and there's several variations of it that are here. Most common one are float flam drags, named after the late Tom Float, whose sticks are up on the wall up there, signed actually by Tom Float. But the playlist for this, as well as like a bunch more, since you're on YouTube, if you go to the home tab, this is where you can find literally over 1,000 play-alongs in here. So if you go click on that, then it shows you all these. So you can find that exercise underneath the chop exercises, and there's currently 53 videos in there. But again, there's thousands more. Yeah, it was cool. So he happened to be playing at Disneyland. He was like one of the street performers, and it's pretty cool. So I, you know, being the drumline nerd that I was, hold your sticks like this, pull in. I had my sticks in my backpack with practice pads, so, you know, never miss an opportunity to practice, including when you're at Disneyland. And so, like, went up to him and didn't know it was Tom Float, just, like, after they finished performing, and was just kind of talking, and he's like, yeah, my name's Tom, used to teach Blue Devils, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I, like, walked away after we were talking, and I was like, wait a minute, kind of, like, put 2 and 2 together. If you do traditional rotate and hold here, ooh, that feels good. I'm going to hold it. And I was like, Tom taught Blue Devils. So I went up and I was like, hey, are you Tom Float? And he's like, yeah, man. So he did like the Tom Float, like handshake and whatnot. And just talked like a little bit longer, and he was really funny. But yeah, it was good. Stretch in this side. You could do it like that. You could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Ooh, that feels great. I'm going to do it there. Just don't put all your weight into it. You could also do this on your pad. But yeah, met Tom Float. It was cool. Nice guy. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. So you could do it like this. You could do it on your pad. You could do this one on your leg. You could do this one on the wall. This one, the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Again, don't put all your weight into it. That's bad. All right, now we're going to stretch here. Hello, Owami. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, it was cool. Happened to have like a marker. So Tom Float signed it, and then the other 2 dudes who were playing in the like trash can duo or trio signed it with him. But just happened to be marching with Tom Float sticks that year in high school. It's like all the stars aligned. Am I a 5 drum or a 6 drum? Well, that depends. If you're doing 6 drums and they're tuned the same way, it's like, what's the point? But if you're doing 6 drums and they're tuned differently, then sweet. But all the lines that I taught and like performed with had 5 drums, so never got to play on them. Although I want to get the new Vic Firth pad, the one with the rims that actually has like the 6 drums on there. Technically it has 7 drums if you've seen it. But yeah, if it adds to the music with 6, then cool. Nice. Yeah, I've got padception here. So we've got pad on pad, but it's just like the large pad on top of the small pad. And then this one, we've got like a bajillion different drum pads here. The groupie march seems to keep switching back and forth. Oh, that's interesting. Why? Why are they alternating? Keeping you on your toes. Yeah, tenors are fun. I march snare, but now I exclusively play match grip, and I'm enjoying tenors. Taught it for a long time. Oh, buying new equipment? Oh, the sticks I use, they're Hardeman hammers. So if you're here, instead of going to /drum, you go to /gear. You can also find this like way down at the bottom, this link right here. And it shows you some books that I recommend. These are affiliate links, so thank you to people who've used it. But scroll down, there are these sticks, the Hardeman hammers. So the performance sticks, if I were performing, I'd use the Ralph Hardimans. I like the barrel tip, but the Hardiman hammers are phenomenal for building chops. So these are extra heavy sticks. They're double taped. They're about 44% heavier than double taped Hardimans, so normal sticks. And then I also actually enjoy the Hardiman tenor sticks as well. So these are good, which they're right there on the link. Is Quad Logic on the list? Yeah. Yeah, so under Rudimental. Quad Logic. That's such a good book. I went through like 90% of it on stream a few months back, actually. All those VODs and whatnot you can find here. So past the chop stuff, past the limb independent stuff, past the like 800 grid variations, almost 900. Past the technique, past the marching bass. In here, this particular playlist, you can find the full live streams recordings. So like the one that I'm doing right now. So you can see, here's how I actually practice. And then whenever people come into these streams and they like ask questions, I turn them into these like compilation videos that have like drumming tips. Like here are the things that I worked on. Right now, publicly, there's 49 videos that released. This one just released an hour ago. But if you scroll down, you'll see that there are some that say members first. That just means early access. Every single one of the play-alongs and every single one of the like drumming tips videos is scheduled to release publicly. But I, as of like Friday, had 192 videos that are currently scheduled for release that are early access. So like some of these like exercises like the Blue Devils 2000 spree, which we're now going to start playing, and MORRISpree are both currently early access, but they are coming out to release in November, I think, because again, we've got a lot of stuff scheduled. We're going to slow these down to 40, and I'm just going to start with this 2000 chop and spree and play through it. Nice. Glad you're able to get a deal on them. They're expensive. We're going to go super slow, go up by 5. I just learned these stopping sprees this week. Or maybe it's the last week and a half. I don't know. Check the VODs. By being able to play these as slow as 40 beats a minute, it makes it so you can really focus on proper interpretation. I would get together with your instructor and ask what sticks they're actually using, because they will likely all be using the same. At least they should. If they're not, that's concerning. Sweet. Now we're going to alternate over to the other one. Another one. No, that's how fast we played it last time. Again, timestamps in the descriptions and down to 40. This one's members first at the moment. But if you go back to the VOD, you can find me playing it one click at a time and actually practice this one slow. MORRISpree. I'm avoiding the rim shots for the moment. I must play the wrong pattern. Thank you for the likes on TikTok. Sweet. Now we go back. Again, trying to get used to these exercises. I don't have them memorized yet. Just learned them. You can play these from 40 all the way up to 200. Every single beat in between. We're just going up at 5s, but I highly recommend going up at 1s when you're refining stuff, which is what we did previously. We'll see how fast we get today. 200. I like the 3, 4, 5 pattern here. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Here's some more float variations on that first line. Thank you for the likes. Now, when practicing these, it's insanely important to focus on playing with the technique that you would do this fast. If I were doing like all downstrokes, it's like not gonna go good when you're above, 60 beats a minute. So make sure you're practicing this stuff with the proper technique that you would play it fast. Nice and light, nice and relaxed. Let that rebound get out of the way of your sticks, etc. Bad interp. Unsub. Scoot up that interp. I started playing 2000. Yeah, so the problem that I have right now is like I have these sort of memorized, but not really enough. And so I keep playing like the wrong patterns. So I started playing this paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, but that's not what I was supposed to do. I'm so sorry. I know. I failed you. Like Swiss drags. They're fun. Good workout. Whoa, 50, slow down. cool measure. Can I do 150? Not yet. I just learned these. Like, literally just learned them. Hey, Gnome. Good morning. But eventually, yeah. So, like, if we did Blue Devil's 99 chopping spree, which also has some float drags. We could do that at like 160 plus. Stay tuned. We'll get there. Just learning this. Sometimes I'm really bad. That's why we practice. We leave up all the good and the bad on these streams, so people can see, oops, what it actually looks like. Screwing up. Talking messes me up. Turns out hard to read it and talk. Sweet. Now we go back to Blue Devils 2000. Here we go. Whoop. 55. Quick, water. Enjoy that ASMR. Here we go. Oops. Left the mouse on there. It's causing it to wiggle. Sweet. Back to MORRISpree. We just did it at 55, so that's, you know, only one number off from what you're asking, right? Almost there. That's how math works, right? I swear I have a doctorate. Not in math. Can tell you that much. Full screen. Click. Let's go. That's a nice kit behind me. Thanks. It's actually my wife's. Mine's on the other side of the room. But hers is prettier, so we put it on the screen. Thanks for the like on TikTok. And now MORRISpree at 60. Click. If you close this part, by the way, on the top right up here, then you can actually make it full screen when you're practicing this, so you can see it even easier. But because I'm just constantly changing the BPMs, I'm keeping it up like this. It's fun. These are good sprees. Just learned them. These play-alongs help with it. Going slow. Again, when you're slow like this, stay nice and relaxed on those accents. Back to Blue Devils 2000. 65. So again, this one's members first. It's scheduled to release in the future. Same thing with the MORRISpree. Got like 192 videos currently scheduled. More to come. Over 1,000 videos for free. I've got so many ideas to create. Oops. When should we expect to see snare breaks in this? I'm not sure actually. I had somebody on Reddit suggest that, and I was like, that's a really interesting idea. But I've got hundreds and hundreds of ideas of like things that I want to create, so it's kind of like whenever I feel like making them. But again, we've got more than 6 months worth of releases currently scheduled. So it'll be a while. Like if I make it today and schedule it, it'll be in like January when it actually release. But it's a good idea. Freestyle Rudiments on YouTube. He does a lot of stuff like that where he breaks down the Vic Firth marching YouTube channel also has snare breaks broken down. They're not as thorough as this in terms of like 1 BPM at a time. But they can certainly help you to learn them. It's hard to talk while trying to read. Apologies, slight inconsistencies. Unsub. Hey, I didn't say close that. I said 70. Curious how fast I'll be able to get today. Still not great at these sprees yet. Stay tuned though. Do some flam 7s. Those are fun. Hey, wife. People like your kit.
Oh, thank you.
It's a good kit. It's very pretty. Like you. Oh. Alright, 70. We did it. And now 70 on this one. I gotta admit, it's weird for me to like just keep going back and forth between these, because like mentally I just keep wanting to play the other one, and so I'm having to like, wait, no, do this, no, not that, this. It's a good challenge. Yeah! Blue Devils 2000 now. Here we go. Whoop. And 75. I like these sprees. They're fun. But my favorite one still is the Velvet Knights 5/4 shopping spree. I'll chop out with that at the end. So in like 20 minutes. Do I practice like this every day? Almost every day. So like tomorrow will be drum kit, limb independence. But you're on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, in my profile, there should be the link to my YouTube, which will take you to here. And if you go to the home tab, this is where you find the thousands of free play-alongs, because I also create gaming and computer science stuff, because, you know, I'm a nerd. But when you click on the header for the drumming one, it shows you just the drumming playlist. So, like, here's 117 technique exercises. Here's 53 chop exercises. Here's 372 triplet ones for grid variations, 514 16th grid variations, blah, 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 blah. So, literally thousands of free exercises here. But this playlist right here that has currently 262 videos are all the live stream practice sessions. Hey, it's me. So if you close that, hey, where'd the playlist go? It's hiding. Boop. If you go to the playlist and not, the live video, it's got all of the practice sessions that I've streamed. So it shows like how I break down stuff. So some days I'll like work on accent tap. You'll just see me like working on an accent tap exercise where I'm just like sitting there playing this like for an hour straight. Just like refining it and looking at my technique, over analyzing it. Or I'll do some like tenor stuff. That's not the actual tenor technique I use. Or I'll do limb independence. But the schedule that I use for like what I'm typically planning on streaming, if you're on YouTube, you can find it under /schedule instead of /drum, and that'll take you to here, which shows that each morning I like to try and do about an hour on something. Like tomorrow will be limb independence, the next day will be chops and technique, the next day will be limb independence, and then Thursday I should be doing a tenor technique one. But then after I do these drum ones, I do about 2 hours of a video game. So I've been alternating lately between Minecraft, which is today, and Spider-Man 2. So stay tuned for more of that. But woo! Why is it playing rebound? I didn't click on that exercise. That's a great exercise, though. Great for on drum kit. We'll do that one tomorrow with the foot. ADHD is going to learn all this. Yeah, I mean, there's literally over 1,000 free exercises here. YouTube. If you go to my website, that's where you can find everything organized better, because like this is as best as I can do on YouTube, is like when you click on here, then it shows you all the playlists. But it's like difficult sorting through it all. So if you go to the link that's here on the vertical stream /drum, so that takes you to this page, which all of these are free. Any of one of the videos that say members first is just scheduled to release publicly, so you don't ever have to pay for these, as long as you're patient, because there's like a 6 months worth of videos currently scheduled. But all the chop exercises are here, so you can see them organized nice and neatly. All of the limb independence like exercises are here. All of the 55 drum charts are here. The 372 grid variations are here. If you just want to see the flam 5 ones, cool. Just click on this one and it shows you just the flam 5s one. Or the 16th note versions, or all these different technique exercises. Like you want to work on your accent taps, cool. If you click on this playlist, boom, there's 20 videos that are specifically focused on how to improve your accent taps. And then if you go all the way down past that, we've got the marching bass permutations. The best one is the splits timing, 2 drums. Highly recommend that for any bass drummer. You'll see why when you actually play through them. And then this. So like people will often come into these streams and like ask questions like, hey, how do I improve blah, blah, blah. And because I have 26 years of drumming experience, PhD in music education, blah, 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 like I'm able to give some advice based off of my experience as an educator, as a performer, and like the students that I work with. And so when people ask these questions, I take the streams, which are in this playlist, and I put them into like a condensed answer of like, talking about different stuff. So like this, whoa, I'm really loud. So if you look at the timestamps, this one starts off talking about what are inverted rolls. Then we talk about what a triangle fulcrum looks like. And then we talk about how to intentionally make micro mistakes to improve your playing. Using stick control, keeping your hands healthy, alternating flams, triplet grid. Like there's a lot of different topics in here from like different questions that people ask during these live streams, and you can check them out there. For example, the video that just released this morning is somebody who joins actually on Instagram and sometimes on YouTube, posted a video on Reddit, and they asked for some feedback on how to improve flamus. So at the beginning of this video, I play their playing with permission from them, and then I spend the next 14 minutes just tearing it to shreds in as polite way as possible, like saying, here's what you could do to improve this, here's how you can improve this, blah, 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 like talking about traditional grip, because that's what I marched for a snare. So all of these I'm just trying to put out there to hopefully help you out with your all playing and whatnot. But anyways, this one, 75. Clicky click. We're going up by 5s today. Normally what I like to do is actually go up by 1s. But today, we're just kind of doing a different kind of challenge. Don't know these exercises very good yet. I'm avoiding the rim shots. so I'm avoiding the rim shots specifically because I don't want to ruin these wonderful Hardeman hammers that are extra heavy. They're great for working on chops. Very nice. All right, we're now at 80. I think we'll be able to get to triple digits, not triplet digits. Thank you for the like. Let's see here. Question about traditional grip. Does the middle finger have to rest on the stick? I have a tendency to bring it off the stick. Just use my index and thumb. Okay, so actually, I'll show you with this view. So we'll do top-down view. You're in the vertical. You should still be able to see it. All right, so a traditional grip. So again, I'm playing match grip now, but I marched snare for several seasons, like did academy for a few years. And then, yeah, got into a car accident. So I got to march 5 out of my 7 years that I would have done, but, you know, couldn't march those last 2. Did it for a couple years in high school, a couple years for college, all that fun stuff. So have a ton of experience with traditional grip. All right, so traditional grip, when you're doing this, primary motion is the rotation. It has nothing to do with, like, your finger speed, which some people will be like, I'm trying to speed up my thumb. Great. That's not going to give you any power at all, so don't play that way. It's all about the rotation. That's how you get the speed, power, etc., etc. When you're doing traditional grip, you want to have this, like, lined up, nice and neat. This is curved over. This one is hanging out on here. The middle finger, a lot of point of contention here. What you want is a curved finger just kind of naturally resting right here. Some people, when they play, will open up the finger a little bit, like when doing a roll. Just a little bit is okay. If you do this with your finger and you straighten it, you're going to feel tension along here. You're going to feel tension along the back side as well. In fact, if you were to take traditional grip and you were to tighten each one of the fingers, you're going to feel a different part of your forearm and the different tendons kind of like change depending on what you're doing. They're going to get tight down here. So that's a bad thing. If, however, you are applying traditional grip and your fingers come off the stick just a little bit, and it doesn't cause that tension that comes off when you're like coming too far off the stick like this, going like, "Rah," and you're getting all this like tension in there, then it's fine. So what's happening there is you're actually allowing your stick to breathe. So let's switch to this view. So if you come off the stick a little bit, you're actually allowing the stick to vibrate. If the stick is vibrating, that means that you're having a nice relaxed grip, and you're actually making it so that the energy transfer from here to into the head is going into the head rather than into your hand. So like, listen to this. I'm going to play this at the same volume, or rather at the same height, but I'm going to change the volume of the stick. How did I do that? It has to do with the speed from going from point A into point B, so the velocity, as well as how much of the contact I'm putting on the stick. So if you are choking off the sound, literally, then it's going to make it so that it's quieter than if you're playing with a relaxed technique where the stick can actually vibrate. So if the stick is vibrating while you are playing traditional grip and your middle finger is coming off of it and it's not causing tension, no problems at all. If, however, your middle finger is like straightening up, then that becomes a bit of a problem. If the 2 fingers underneath come off the stick a little bit when you're playing traditional grip, like some of the larger strokes, not a problem. In fact, you'll see like every single top 5 drumline in the world do it, even though they say not to do it, some of them. But if it comes off a little bit and it doesn't cause that tension down here, you're all good. So that's a long-winded answer of saying it depends. But there's actually a video that's underneath. Here, I'll go back to my website. Let me show you. So I learned that concept of the stick hum, the vibration, from Jeff Queen, and there's a very quick video underneath the tips section that kind of talks about that. So this one, you should hear this when you drum. It actually like amplifies the audio so you can hear the hum of the stick versus no hum with the stick. So this video kind of demonstrates that with greater detail than I can do right now because I can't like cut out the extra noise from the attack, but I do that in this video. And then again, that's under the tips and lessons section. Is it better to master more complex rhythms before jumping into sprees like this? Interesting question. I'm trying to think of how to respond to that. So let me, actually, I'll use my website to kind of like demonstrate what most people do. So what most people end up doing when it comes to rudimental stuff is they will spend like 90% of their time working on these chop exercises. So they're going to learn like Blue Devil's 99 chopping spree, and they're going to work on Susie and learn how to do VK 5/4 spree. And then they spend maybe 5 or 10% of their time actually refining their technique, etc. What I recommend doing, this is for both snare drum and tenor drum players in particular. Remind me to talk about bass in a moment. But spend about 50% of your time on these technique exercises. Just going slow, really refining the technique, playing a nice relaxed, loose sound quality. Again, trying to go with so that your stick vibrates when you're playing. Spend about 50% of your practice time going through this. Slow. Again, you're seeing me, somebody who's been playing for 26 years, slow these exercises down to 40. There's a reason for that. Even though I can certainly play some of these stuff like triplet diddle at 200, I will practice it at 40, and it helps me improve over time. So spend about half of your time working on these technique exercises. There's 117 of them. It'll keep you busy for a while. Spend about 30 to 40% of your time working on grid variations. If you are new to drumming or an intermediate player, spend most of your time working on the variations where it's a rudiment on one. The rudiments that you should focus on, diddle variations, diddle on one, flam variation, where it's a flam on one, cheese on one, drag on one, and a flam 5 on one. You don't need to worry about like being able to do a book report, like backwards 2-accent grid. You don't need to worry about that right now. All of this stuff is fun to play, but don't worry about it. Just focus on really making it solid with like a rudiment on one. Like the triplet variations, like be able to play the rudiment like flam drags on one with this, but play it at 40. Then next measure. As I rush that diddle, etc. So play with proper interpretation doing this. That's about 30 to 40% of your time. Then about 10 to 20%, lean more towards 10, work on these chop exercises. The stuff that everybody spends all their time working on. If you actually want to make the drumline that you want to make, they don't care how fast you can play the snare lick or the shopping spree or whatever. What they care about is how consistently you can play like triplet rolls or flam accents, etc. And the way you develop that consistency is spend only about 10 to 20% of your time working on the chop stuff. Spend about 30 to 40% of your time really refining these grid variations, just rudiment on one, just your standard ones, the basic stuff. But spend about half of your time just refining your technique with these technique exercises. Now, notice that I'm saying to do grid for about 30 to 40% of the time. That's technically still a technique exercise. So really, you're spending like 80 to 90% of your time working on technique. And there's a reason for that. That is how you develop the consistency if you practice this slow. You love how in-depth the answers are? Oh, I'm glad they're helpful. You can tell I'm an academic. I'm long-winded. My CV shows that I have several publications and lots of presentations, which means I'm a nerd. So I've just been doing this for a long time. And I think a lot of people give these really simple responses that genuinely don't help out on the long run. And so I have the ability to kind of give these long-winded answers for moments like these. But this is like what I would do when I was like teaching privately and whatnot, is like, well, let's actually talk about the interpretation of that phrase on marimba. Let's just not just say, oh, you rush that. Well, let's talk about, well, why are you playing it this way and not this way? Like, that's how you actually improve. In my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a random person on the internet. All right. Let's play this at 80 now. MORRISpree. Ew. Sweet. So my goal is I want to get both of these to 100. If I can do that today, I would just be so happy. And then I'm going to chop out with 5/4 shopping spree, which is so much fun to play. And call back to the beginning, it's got a lot of different float variations of exercises. Or rudiments, rather. Ooh. Almost launched my stick. Whoa. Flawless. Those, this is the alternative version. You're supposed to nearly launch your stick across the room a couple of times. It's weird, but you know, Blue Devils, they're very avant-garde with their playing sometimes. That was called a joke. Welcome to the ASMR drumming stream. So that 4 into the 3 part was like a little bit off there. I know. It's okay. I don't blame you for unsubbing. That's fine. I would too. It's funny how many comments I get where like, you should have played it this way. Thanks. I guarantee you, I could find more mistakes than you can. Didn't need your help. Let me get my time machine, go back and fix that rep. Yeah! Couple more reps. We're almost there. I'm not ready to play these at tempo yet. I'm still having to read them. Gotta memorize these. This is helping though. Whoa, 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 whoa. I started playing the 2000 spree. Do I have DCI experience? Yeah, I did 5 years in academy. I got into a car accident my 5th year. Couldn't march years 6 or 7. Wah wah. Oops. So I did 2 years in Pitt in high school, 2 years in snare in high school, 5 years in academy. Even have the core logo tattooed on my arm. I did 2 years in college for snare. Ended up being center snare of every line I marched on. But that 5th summer in academy, I got into that car accident. Some dude ran a red light and I just plowed right into him. And so I couldn't march year 6 or 7. But then I got a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education. So I've had a wide range of experience in drumming, teaching. Sweet. 9 to 5. You have a good friend in academy? Nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it, but I also learned how to not teach. There was some problematic aspects involved with that. Things that were said that I will not repeat on stream. But that was a long time ago. I'm assuming they're different now. Oops. No! No. We gotta do that again. Unacceptable. We've detected... Oh, okay. Thanks, TikTok. Appreciate it. Okay, so now we're going to do both of them one last time. But TikTok, your notification is blocking my screen. Thank you. I appreciate you. It was distracting me. No internet connection. Okay. Good to know, TikTok. I hope you're wrong. Instagram seems to disagree. Hey. Okay, so we're going to play both of these at 100, and then I'm going to play 5/4 Velvet Night Shopping Spree faster than I probably should, but you know what? We're going to have fun doing it. Here we go. 2000 Shopping Spree. And now, MORRISpree, attempting it at 100 beats a minute. Let's go full screen. No, like that. Goal achieved. Now let's chop out. So at the end of practice sessions, just like, have fun. If you're like actually sitting there just working on, I'm going to refine my grace note tap height for like 5 hours straight. At the very end, have fun with it, because otherwise you'll just get burnt out from drumming. Ask me how I know. But if you go to Velvet Knight's 5-4 shopping spree and you play that one fast, woo, like that, guaranteed fun. All right, we're going to start off at 110, and we'll go up by 10 clicks. 110. Click. Here we go. And I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. Apparently it's loud. It's like screaming at me. Good one, right? If you disagree, feel free to unsub. You're not welcome here. If you don't like shopping sprees, get out. Just kidding, you do you. What? Just like close it. I said 120, not close. There we go. Okay. 130 is probably going to be the breaking point. 130 is fast. No promises. One thing I do promise is gonna crash and burn at some point. Either this rep or the next one. Let's get some water. I'm stalling for time. These sprees are fun to play, great chop burners, but if you do them with double taped Hardeman hammers, whoo-wee, they're even more fun. All these rudimental streams, I use these sticks. I love it. Thank you. I know. Thank you. Flawless victory. Okay. Actually, I'll show you here first. If you don't go to my website, totally fine. Go to the home tab of my YouTube channel. That's where we got drumming, gaming, computer science stuff organized into playlists. Don't go to the videos tab. You're never going to find what you're looking for, because there's literally over 1,000 free play-alongs. But when you click on the drumming content, it shows you all the tips that I've given on these like practice streams, like when people ask questions. I've compiled them into a bunch of different videos in here. Several hours of content. Bunch of technique exercises, chop exercises, almost 900 grid variations, bunch of marching bass stuff, all of the prior live streams with timestamps in here, and all of the other drumming playlists all within here. If you go to the link that's at the top of the screen, /drum on my website, it's just better organized than YouTube, but you don't have to go here if you don't want to. But this is just easier to find stuff because, you know, YouTube is kind of limiting. What game am I streaming today? Today is Minecraft. I was actually playing that last night with my wife. I proposed to her through Minecraft. I made a mod. Like, I programmed it to have our dogs in the game and, like, custom armor with her favorite color, purple, and things like that. That's actually on my TubeU. But if you go to /game, You can find all the previous highlight reels, and the one that says proposing through a Minecraft mod, that's the one where it shows kind of our world. That was a video from like many years ago. Married almost 9 years now in October on Halloween. Woot! Anyways, I'm going to call it here, and I'm going to get ready for some Minecraft and, just having fun gaming. Tomorrow we'll be on Drum Kit, showing you how I struggle through some limb independence permutations and whatnot, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Some excellent questions today. If you enjoy the content that I create, just engage with it. Share it with other people if you enjoy it. All of these will be for free if it says members first. This is scheduled to release for free. I don't want to have these behind paywalls and whatnot. If you go to /gear on my website, you can find what sticks, pads, books I recommend. These are affiliate links on Amazon, so it does help me out. I get about 4% back. So if you want to buy your groceries from Amazon, first click here, and then I get 4% back for the groceries you buy. Anyways, I'm going to call it. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Goodbye.